Hello, hello, and welcome back for another week of Apex Legends through Esports Ohio. This week, we're once again jumping in on Stormpoint. Let's see what the picks go in. Obviously, some big changes previously. We weren't able to stream last week, but since the last set of matches you saw on this channel, we've had some updates to crypto and some updates to Octane as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we see quite a few people trying to go for those aggressive strats. We have a few teams who are looking to play a little bit more reservedly, trying to get spots in zone. But this lobby is radically different than the one that we had last week, so it'll be curious to see. We got a mix here, quite a few support legends, a good number of Octanes, quite a few cryptos. Some people are on to just how strong that legend has become with the buffs. Let's take a look and jump in as our match begins. We can take a look and see we've got a number of teams dropping in here. Let's pop through in order here, starting with Auburn Career Center. Looks like they get a Jurassic Zone here, dropping in this little spot right here near the middle of the map. We've got Beaver Creek High School here, dropping not too far away from them, actually, at Pylon. We have Brookside High School, who gets Cascades. Goshen A with Mills all to themselves here. We've got Goshen C. It looks like on the map they have this, what do they call? Ferrari Zone, I think they call it. This tiny little POI kind of outside of Wall. We have Indian Hill, who is above. Let's see, is this the Indian Hill? Are we up in the command center? No, we are actually above. We're at Wall, so we're just a short bit away from Goshen C. Rotating through here, National Trail on the other side of the map here. We've got them up at Launchpad, or Northpad rather, I should say. We've got New Bremen here, who's all the way up at Lightning Rod. They're going to be able to work their way down. North Baltimore here in the center near Stormcatcher. We've got Reynoldsburg High School, who's pushing up from this tiny little POI, kind of near Cedo Station and near Mill as well, and immediately getting shot at. I'm guessing that's our Goshen folks. We can take a look and actually see here. Is this Goshen A? Yep, they are up. They are in there. Let's watch this fight for a minute before we continue to rotate through our squads. Goshen's A squad choosing to play aggressively, running out of Mills, immediately taking this fight. Some good entry damage going down.
Making contact with enemy.
Goshen A also taking a decent amount of damage as the Reynoldsburg team has a few taking angles. Pretty healthy as they kind of pull back a little bit. Let's watch from their perspective. Goshen, it looks like, going for both a comp and a loadout that is much more suited to close range, whereas Reynoldsburg here, a lot more options for distance, double sentinel, and at least a flatline. Goshen pulling up close. That's the way they like it. You can see a lot more close range guns. Octane gets licked a little bit pulling in there. Decides to pull back. Wraith and Alter both playing the rock here. Wraith decides to use Q early here, running into the fight. Manages to get across. Is on the building. Some decent damage, but unfortunately goes down. Does not manage to get the trade. Teammates are going to be there, though. One low. Bangalore goes for the Finn. Gets the swap out of it. And that's going to be the finish. An aggressive play, and they got some good damage. You can see, obviously, did quite a bit of damage against the Reynoldsburg squad, but that is going to be Goshen going out here as Reynoldsburg looks to reset. Saint XA, meanwhile, if we take a look, quite on the other side of the map here, they're kind of rotating in, it looks like, to grab our arsenals here, all the way over at the what do we call this? The Echo HQ. There we go, the little triangle station. Whitmer rotating away there. We'll jump in within in a second. We've got Saint XB here, who I believe is right on the edge of Cedo Cave. Yep, right there. Just picking a spot. When you're a solo like that, sometimes you just got to play it quiet, play it small. Rotating through, we've got Troy High School, who now is moving through that Cedo station near the center of the map. Warren G. Harding now rotating up a little bit, I believe, onto... right here, Warren G. Harding moving up onto Pylon as Whitmer pulls in from the other side. And then there we go. Whitmer bringing up the end of the alphabet here, walks in towards Pylon from the other direction. So we may see a bit of a fight here in a moment. Let's take a look at where teams are at. Auburn High School pushing up towards Beaver Creek. We may see some fighting happening. In fact, I think we did see some fighting happening as Auburn Career Center pushed up and managed to at least get one knocked onto that Beaver Creek team. Two knocked, actually, and full finish. So the Lifeline's going to run away. She may get out of here. I don't think they're super onto her unless they decide to push this. Yep, I think she's got a clean getaway as long as she keeps running. Let's see who else. We've got New Bremen High School here running into North Baltimore. Let's watch this fight here for just a minute. Right outside Command Center. Early knock from New Bremen. New Bremen has played very well this season. Two down. The Lifeline goes to the tap, and they get the finish. That's going to be North Baltimore taken out by New Bremen High School. Take another peek here at who's maybe going to run into one another, what fights we think might happen early. Warren G. Harding here, it looks like trading some shots, taking some damage. I think they're just kind of peeking at some distant teams. Nobody right on top of one another there. Reynoldsburg High School and Troy High School looking at each other. We just saw this. Reynoldsburg not gone very far. This was the site of their fight against Goshen A for that early wipe. We'll watch this here. Troy High School doesn't seem to be aware that this team's here. They're peeking at... We got somebody else coming from the other side. Troy High School, Brookside High School. Yeah, so Troy here pinched pretty badly, actually, but I don't think they realize it. They've got Reynoldsburg on one side and then Brookside coming up from the other.
We should go that way. Enemy over there.
We'll watch from the Brookside perspective as they work their way down the hill here. And I think they may actually now be fighting this Reynoldsburg team.
Let's go over here.
Not entirely sure whether Brookside realizes that it's actually another squad as well. I think maybe while Troy gets out here, I don't think Reynoldsburg has kind of yet revealed their position. We did miss. It looks like in the kill feed, Indian Hell was eliminated, I think, by Warren G. Harding, it looks like to me. We missed that while we were watching this triple team pile up here. Auburn Career Center also now eliminated, it looks like, by Warren G. Harding as well. Troy decides to rotate away. Reynoldsburg rotates away. Let's take a look. We're going to see a lot of teams running into each other right here. We have National Trail High School very close to Goshen C, moving slowly in, playing a little bit more quietly, more calmly. They're going to be running into, I believe, New Bremen, who's also right next to them as well. Yep, New Bremen, or sorry, that's the first member for National Trail there on Warren G. Harding. Warren G. Harding manages to kind of split up this National Trail team. National Trail actually now in a pretty tough spot here as they look to rotate in. It is just the duo here as they walk. They want to try and get back to their other player who actually was now finished by, I believe, that Warren G. Harding squad. They take the cannon and immediately land on a full team and get punished for it. Just unfortunate. The Wraith here says, you know what? I think I'm not going to take that cannon that my two teammates died off of. Decides to go a different direction. Meanwhile, we've got Beaver Creek here immediately getting into a fight as well versus, I think this may be our New Bremen squad. We saw them walking in. Lifeline in a tough spot. She ults, but with the height that they've got here, actually a very, very tough spot to actually get coverage on. They are going to drop down on her, and it is New Bremen, as we guessed. Playing this pretty aggressively. Getting a finish out. Some damage being done. She takes the zip. Let's watch this Lifeline as she runs for her life. Can she make it out? She cannot. Beaver Creek's going to be eliminated at the hands of New Bremen. If we take another peek at the map, we can see, I'm sure, some other squads. We've got New Bremen, who is now right on top, actually, of Goshen C. Goshen C underneath them, maybe hoping to get unnoticed a little bit here, but this is going to be really tough in a 2v3 scenario if it comes down to it. Goshen C does manage to get one knock and actually one full kill onto one of the New Bremen folks, but with Crypto, they're going to be able to grab that banner pretty much immediately. Everybody rotating into zone. Let's see where we're going to see some action happening. Saint XA and Saint XB. Saint XB, I imagine, is going to play pretty quiet. I can't see them chowing and running into, so we may see some violence here, but much more likely, I think Saint XB is just gonna play that quiet. Meanwhile, New Bremen here looking to rotate in just behind Goshen C, who gets into zone a little bit before them. Brookside High School a little bit split here, playing across Jurassic, trying to rotate in, but then right on their back, they've got National Trail as the solo. She has both banners. She's going to be looking to res. She might have an opportunity to do that in Jurassic as they walk into Storm. Brookside High School, do they spot her? They do. They see her. This is very unfortunate news for that solo. Although I say that, but they're kind of pulling back a little bit. They're distracted, actually. Who's the team who's running interference? It's Warren G. Harding. Warren G. Harding posted up here on the edge. Brookside manages to spot as they're going in National Trail, and they are going to be taken out there. Brookside High School getting some shots down, I believe, onto that Warren G. Harding squad as they rotate in. Triple purple to Brookside's purple, purple, blue. Take a look and see if we're missing anything else. Well, we're kind of missing the rest of our lobby here. Everybody's rotating into zone. Goshen C here posted up in the building. New Bremen coming in behind them. Let's actually take a look from the New Bremen perspective, because they're getting in. They're going to be very low health as they've been taking this storm damage, having a long way to rotate. Kind of unfortunate that Goshen managed to get a pick onto them, because it really broke up their ability to rotate in quickly. Very, very low here on the lifeline, and she's going to get knocked. She's going to go down here. Whitmer's going to be eliminated in the crossfire there. We missed that a little bit. That was Warren G. Harding as they rotated into zone. It's going to be 2 down and an Octane in the zone here for New Bremen. And Goshen C is going to be eliminated. That's going to be cleaned up by, I'm not quite sure whose team that is. We can take a look here, though, and see. It was Brookside. So Brookside kind of cleaned up the last of that fight. New Bremen has one knock up, but she's almost certainly going to go down. And their Octane is going to be looking to try and reset somewhere. Here's what our map looks like. If we take a look here, we can see we have Saint XA. I think we missed it, but actually they might have spotted him. It looks like Saint XB is no longer in the lobby, so I'm guessing that they were managed to get found out by their fellow Saint Xers and were eliminated. We've got Saint XA right on top of Reynoldsburg. Warren G. Harding kind of being able to walk in for free here. Let's watch this fight here a little bit from the Saint XA perspective. Decent damage being done right away by Reynoldsburg. Let's swap over to their point of view and see the bow doing work. It's a 3v3 here, all members on blue. Reynoldsburg, though, not really a very defensible position, especially if we get more squads pulling into this zone. Oof. Tough getting stuck there by the charged bow. It's just so easy to just spam that damage really, really quickly. All 3 for Saint XA are so low. The thing that's saving them really the most right now is just that you cannot push up that tower with all of those Watson fences. So they're going to have a chance to get full healthy, I think. Let's take a look. Reynoldsburg spotted it. Let's see what's happening on the other side of zone. We've got New Bremen finally rotating in. That Octane did manage to get both of the team members up. So they're going to be a full trio as they're walking in, but not a lot of loot probably to their name. And they are immediately getting looked at by this Brookside squad, who is kind of strong, holding this position on the edge. Just to check and make sure we're not missing anybody here. Yep, Warren G. Harding is on a totally different spot. One knock coming out here from Brookside onto that New Bremen squad. New Bremen, just very unfortunate. They've been kind of on the back leg for a little bit now, between the early pick by Goshen as they were getting ready to rotate in the earlier zone, and then finally getting double eliminations onto them as they managed to move in next. Now it is going to be Brookside looking to clean it up. They've got 2 down. It's going to be once again the Octane as a solo, playing quiet. I can't imagine that Warren G. Harding's too far behind, though. Oh, Warren G. Harding's kind of given up their spot. They were playing right here. Brookside's going to be looking for that Warren G. Harding, or that New Bremen remaining player, rather. He's hoping to get banners. I do not see how that's going to happen with this current position in squad, unless Brookside really, really gives up their spot. Since it's top 5, let's do a quick recap of where everybody's at. Warren G. Harding here, outside of zone, but looking to pick up a position. Sanex A still pinned down on this height. Reynoldsburg still in this small sort of, not very defensible, but a better position than a lot of teams in this lobby right now. Kind of on the edge here, holding these buildings. New Bremen, as a solo, manages to get on the crafter, so he does manage to get both a beacon and his teammates. He's going to try and get him up right here, really relying on the mercy of these other teams to make sure that Brookside does not push him. And they decide that they're going to. That was our last one we were going to mention, is Brookside pushing in. I think he's going to get this res off, but then Brookside's going to be on him immediately. He may have just fed his team to Brookside again, because I think they're probably going to hang out right here and just say, some free KP for us. Goes for the out of bounds, manages to get the gun up. And that's going to be one knocked down here. New Bremen, the Crypto did manage to get away, but very much being looked at by Brookside. And now walking right into our team, I believe, of Warren G. Harding, who's taken up position in one of these buildings here. If the Crypto manages to stay alive with the drone and with invisibility, it's entirely possible that he could get banner and could res. There is a beacon still in zone. Crazier things have happened, especially with the Crypto buffs. He can go invis anytime. He also has the overflow that he managed to grab from that pill, so he can pop a cell here, immediately go into drone, and then go and grab his teammate's banner. Meanwhile, I'm guessing everybody else kind of playing a little bit quieter. Yep, Brookside slowly walking in. We've seen Warren G. Harding here now trying to post up in one of these buildings, but they don't have a great spot that's going to be in next. Well, they got this spot right here. They actually might have the strongest position if they can hold this building and then watch their walkout. Brookside going to be playing a little bit more in the open here with just kind of these rocks for cover. Reynoldsburg is going to have to move up just a little bit, but they got to watch out for Saint X, who is still on the height. No, they've actually dropped down. They're no longer on the height. They're now holding this building, but it is not going to be in next zone, so they're going to have to decide where they're going to go. New Bremen, meanwhile, by themselves off here in the distance. Crypto, is he going to try and go for his teammate's banner? This is when I would do it. Go invis. Yep. Go in and grab it. Does he make it? Let's see. I would love to see this late. Oh, he's almost there. I don't think he gets it. That is unfortunate. Well, he does have, it pinged the crafter, though. He does have a craft remaining if he's able to get to that as well. But Brookside's going to make this very, very difficult, unfortunately. I would save the drone and then see if you can rip that crafter potentially if you want to get your teammate back in. But you may be left playing as a duo. We've got some fighting happening here. Let's jump over to the Reynoldsburg perspective as they're in this fight. They are currently getting pushed by Warren G. Harding, it looks like. One knocked on Warren G. Harding, but they're immediately going to res. Some good nades coming out here for Reynoldsburg. Let's just watch here for just a moment from the Warren G. Harding perspective as they try and walk in. Our Saint X squad, I think, is getting ready to jump off the height, so this could be a really tough position as these three teams are effectively on top of one another. Saint X manages to retake the height, and the height is in zone. So they are up here with a full view over the lobby. They're just kind of up here playing Sniper Nest Simulator. Warren G. Harding now is going through it, and they are eliminated, unfortunately. Taken out by Saint X on that height. Meanwhile, Reynoldsburg manages to stabilize just a little bit in this building here. Let's take a peek at the map. I know we're in endgame here, but let's take a peek at that to see what Brookside's doing. They are running around. They've kind of got this whole half side to themselves. One's going to go down, but they're immediately going to get rezzed by the Mirage. They are now looking at the New Bremen squad, who tried to kind of move up and reposition. Good damage early on. Does not manage to get the knock. And then a new knock coming out onto their Octane. They are now getting hard focused by the, I believe, Reynoldsburg squad. New Bremen now back down to a solo. Has to play quiet here. Probably not the best time to pop that. Just kind of drew some attention to yourself. But, you know, You got to make moves sometimes. Reynoldsburg now really struggling here. 1 knocked, 2 super low as they get into this fight with, I believe, the St. X squad slowly walking up directly on top of them. It looks to me like we're going to see Brookside and Reynoldsburg kind of cannibalizing one another. St. X maintaining a little bit more control here, maybe in a position to possibly take this home while the other 2 squads look at each other. That is our top 3, by the way. It's St. X here with a lot of ground and a lot of cover to play. Brookside kind of walking in a little bit from a less defensible position. Reynoldsburg with 1 fully dead now, in a lot of trouble here. St. XA brings out the crypto ult, manages to get some cracks. I don't even need to spectate. We can watch the crypto drone here. Unfortunately, 1 knocked, now 2 knocked, and he's in zone. You're getting ticked. Oh, it's very unfortunate. St. X actually ends up dying to zone, actually, as the crypto's taken out. It's now going to be a duo of Reynoldsburg versus a solo of Brookside, and they are eliminated. So it's going to be Reynoldsburg as our champion in game number 1. Certainly an eventful one. Some teams playing aggressive, some rewarded for it, some punished for it. It'll be interesting to see how teams adapt in game number 2 as we continue on Stormpoint. We'll be back with scores in just a moment, and then we'll be back in about 5 minutes with game number 2. Checking in real quick for a quick score update. We can take a look. If we refresh the leaderboard, you can see after match number 1, Reynoldsburg, obviously 11 kills and a first place finish, is going to be in first place overall for the week so far. We've got Brookside High School just behind, New Bremen closely behind them here in 3rd place, Warren G. Harding in 4th. We've got St. XA in 5th place, Goshen C making it to 6th place, Whitmer High School in 7th, Auburn Career Center in 8th. We've got St. X's B Squad in 9th place, National Trail in 10th place, Beaver Creek in 11th, Troy in 12th, Indian Hill in 13th place, North Baltimore in 14th, and then Goshen's A Squad off of that unfortunate early push that just did not go their way in 15th place. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with our second match, and we'll check in and see how people adapt. Here we go back again for match number 2. We can take once again a look at the team comp, see if anything seems to be drastically different as we get ready to drop in on match number 2. Looking around here, the biggest changes I see quite a few more controller legends, just a handful more than we had previously, a decent number of skirmishers, still quite a few supports, and still quite a few octanes looking for those aggressive plays. A couple cryptos. Word on the street was there may be a little bit of bugginess from the recent crypto update, so some people may be a little bit gun shy on that, but hopefully everything goes smoothly for us. Let's take a look here. We can see our dropships across the map flying in onto the beautiful, luscious tropical island of Storm Point. Let's rotate through and see what our POIs are. We have Auburn Career Center at Downed Beast. We have Beaver Creek High School, who this time gets that sort of small POI that we saw last time being dropped on by Reynoldsburg. We have Brookside High School, who this time has the teeny tiny Cliffside POI. Unfortunate, definitely the short straw on this map, I would say. We have Goshen A, this time at Ferrari, also probably one of the shorter squads, although they are shorter straws, rather, for a small spot. Also very close to wall, though. We have Goshen C squad here, this time up at Elrod, one of the better POIs on the map here. Or rather, not Elrod, I should say, but right here, Zeus Station. Elrod actually completely open. We've got Indian Hill here, far on the opposite side of the map on Desolated Coast. We've got National Trail High School here at Stormcatcher. New Bremen High School. This time it looks like making their way down from Cascades, it looks like to me. We have North Baltimore, this time at Northpad. Reynoldsburg High School here gets Mills. We've got St. X High School, this time at Pylon. We've got St. X B, who is here doing something. Playing Apex Legends. Looks like looted a little bit and then is kind of playing quiet with Barometer all to their lonesome. We've got Troy High School here this time, who is on Launchpad, the opposite sort of Launchpad area from Northpad. We've got Warren G. Harding High School, who it looks to me, where are we at? Oh, they are up here at Checkpoint as they make their way through into the next sort of zone. Whitmer here then, meanwhile, over at Echo HQ, very close to those Devastated Coast folks, and it looks like they're kind of taking a look. And that brings us all the way back to Auburn Career Center. So let's take a look at the map now and see who's close to one another, and immediately we see Brookside High School is on National Trail, and if I had to guess, scared them a little bit because you can see, yep, they are running, they are split. Very split, actually. We've got one for National Trail who is all the way up. I don't think they even realize they're there. Needs to kind of decide where to go. Brookside, meanwhile, manages to get the knock onto one of the stragglers. We can see if they decide to chase. They get the second knock as well, so it's just going to be one remaining here for National Trail. Let's see where she's at, the Wraith. She is booking it for the choke. Well, she was, now she's not. Now she's deciding to run for it. Maybe was hoping to get some reses, but now needs to just get out so she can hopefully craft her team. Let's take a look at the map to see. They managed to get the full fin onto those two. She's going to be running right into Troy High School. Taking a look at the map here, it's pretty clear over here. We are going to maybe see some pileups happening as teams start to rotate through the checkpoint area. Reynoldsburg and Beaver Creek on top of one another. Let's take a look at that fight in a minute here. Although now we see this solo from National Trail getting ran at by Brookside. She's 1 HP, and they are going to take that out. Now let's switch over to this Reynoldsburg, Beaver Creek. We may see some fighting happening between Indian Hill, Troy, and Brookside. But in the meantime, we've got Beaver Creek High School, who is just getting hard pushed by Reynoldsburg. Absolutely ran at. One knocked as they push inside. One on roof. Two knocked now. One down for Reynoldsburg. Their final player is going to be on the roof. And she decides, you know what? I don't like these odds. It's now going to be a 3v1. I want to get out here. Going to be a little bit tough because I do believe they just popped the scan. Yep, they do see the position of that final player and are going to chase her down.
Going there.
It's going to be the Sparrow and the Newcastle absolutely running down this remaining player. Gets a shot on. She's going to try and take the cannon. Doesn't quite make it. Beaver Creek going to be taken out early on by Reynoldsburg. Just unfortunate. Let's see where the action's happening now. Goshen A and Goshen C both walking in pretty slowly from the top of the map. New Bremen High School getting pretty close to North Baltimore, so we may see some fights happening. Let's watch. I would predict that Brookside and Indian Hill are about to get into it because they are walking up on the same side of the hill here. Ooh, is this a rat play? Is this a rat play? Indian Hill. Yes, it is. They play quiet on him and they get some early damage against the Octane. Oh, but it is not enough. It was not a bad play there. Smart play to just play a little quiet, but unfortunately didn't manage to make it work versus Brookside, and Brookside's going to pick up 2 KP off of Indian Hill. We were right about the action. Now we can see this pile up happening. Let's see. We've got New Bremen High School who is running right into North Baltimore High School. North Baltimore, triple white armors to the purple blue from New Bremen. They take that fight any day of the week. We see them push in. Octane gets a little too excited and is going to be out of the fight on the low ground for just a minute. Excuse me. We've got our New Bremen player dropping down here to rally with her teammate. Some decent damage being done as they get a knock onto the Bloodhound. The door is just wide open. You're letting the chill in. That's going to be 2 knocked down. Now it's just the remaining, and they do manage to get the elimination onto North Baltimore by taking out that Pathfinder. They are immediately going to get crypto ulted, though, as Auburn Career Center walks up behind them. They are triple in there trying to loot. As they just saw in that fight, it's not the most defensible little position if you have a team who wants to play aggressively on it. They are fully up there. Let's see what happens when Auburn pushes onto this North Baltimore squad. Sorry, not North Baltimore. This New Bremen squad, I should say. New Bremen immediately gives up the height. Decides to drop back, pulls into this smaller building. Scan coming off from Auburn Career Center. We've got a slight lull here as New Bremen just looks to stabilize for a minute while the incoming Auburn Career Center has taken their position and some of their loot. Let's take a look at the map and see if any action is going to be happening that we might miss. Whitmer rotating in, Sanex just behind. We may see Whitmer, Sanex, and Reynoldsburg fighting a little bit here. This is probably the most likely action still to see. We've got Troy moving in. Let's stick with this for just a moment and see what happens between New Bremen and Auburn Career Center. They are not running this New Bremen team. They are confident. They say, you know what? We think we can fight this. They move up into a slightly better position here to look at possibly taking this fight onto Auburn. Auburn decides to nade off the door. Now New Bremen moving out through the back. They do ultimately decide, you know what? This is not a great push. We can go off. We can kind of do our own thing. Don't need to fight this for any reason. They rotate away, heading through the tunnel here. Meanwhile, we've got, looks like Whitmer doing some spiders, getting some extra loot. Troy going to be moving behind them. Brookside not too far away. New Bremen actually getting walked up on by Auburn Career Center. They say, you know what? I am Crypto. I am the scan legend. You can't trick me. You're trying to rat that door. You thought you were being clever? Auburn Career Center doesn't seem to be aware that there is one on the left, though. So in a minute here, nope, well, she's giving herself away. I was going to say this. Wraith might be able to get a pick if they push up a little bit. Wraith now kind of stuck in an awkward position here. She's trying to get some angles onto this team. Her teammates, meanwhile, taking quite a bit of damage inside. Auburn Career Center slowly moving in, trying to collapse onto this team a little bit. Again, decent damage being done. The wingman shot's coming. That ult is going to make things really, really difficult here, and the Wraith decides, yep, I can't play outside anymore. It is now no man's land. This gives Auburn Career Center the opening to walk up. They manage to get in there. Once again, New Bremen here going for a bit of a quiet play, hoping to let Auburn walk up a little bit, but again, taking just a lot of damage in the crossfire here. Auburn Career Center, one goes down. They manage to get the crypto ult out. Meanwhile, New Bremen still doing quite a bit of damage. Still one knocked by Auburn. That conduit ult goes away. Not a great time for Auburn Career Center here, as New Bremen now able to swing out. They immediately push, and then they are wiped out. Auburn Career Center actually wiped out by New Bremen. Meanwhile, if we jump to some other squads, looks like Goshen A rotating here through Cedo Station. They are looking at Brookside High School now. Let's watch this fight here for just a moment on the edge of zone. Goshen in a stable position, but not able to get a whole lot of damage done onto this squad of Brookside. And in fact, Brookside decides, let's rotate around. Let's just kind of swing the backside here. We don't need to stand here and take this. They're going to be on the other side of the rock now. Reynoldsburg now moving toward Whitmer. Let's take a look at this fight here. Whitmer sort of pinned into a corner. One knocked on Whitmer's squad as Reynoldsburg moves up. Two knocked, actually, and that's the elimination. We missed a little bit of that fight, but that is going to be a 3 KP picked up by Reynoldsburg against Whitmer High School. New Bremen High School, now as they walk out of the tunnel, fresh off of this fight versus Auburn Career Center, is going to be taking a close look at Brookside, who is now stabilized in the big building here at Cedo Station. Goshen A now moving up, looking at the pyramid building, trying to figure out where the best spot is going to be in this next zone. Goshen C, meanwhile, very, very slowly walking in, taking it cautious. Troy High School playing kind of quiet. 3 purple armors. They are pretty strong. Looks like they're pretty decently looted, but they're going to be walking in very, very slowly, just trying to own their side of the zone, which it looks like they do have a good spot for, and actually maybe electing to get some scans off here so they can get a little bit more info. Goshen High School now very, very close to Brookside. It'll be interesting to see if these teams reignite the fight. They do. Brookside High School triple purple versus the triple blue here from Goshen, so they are going to have the armor advantage. Although we did just see one from Goshen who managed to make it. Oh no, it's just the controller legend perk, not a purple armor. They managed to walk up even further and stabilize in a building here. Brookside now peeking, just looking at kind of everybody walking into zone as they control the big building. Meanwhile, Sanex walking in from the other side and taking quite a bit of damage as they do it. Goshen is looking at New Bremen High School, who've stabilized in the pyramid there. They decide to push up off of that. Some good early damage here. New Bremen now pushed onto this low ground. Goshen, again, mostly double close range here, so it's going to be a little bit tough for them to get distance damage. But in these kind of close range fights, they may have a bit of an advantage. New Bremen now going to be a solo. The Wraith looking to get some wingman shots onto Goshen. Not really much she can do here, unfortunately, as multiple squads are looking that direction. This is going to be quite a few squads alive in the end game here. Troy High School, not a lot of cover, but they do have this whole area to themselves. Goshen C setting up in this building here. We can, in fact, kind of rotate through our squads here. New Bremen as a solo, walking up the hill, looking to get to this crafter and maybe hit a reset. They might be running into that Goshen A squad. Reynoldsburg holding down the other side of zone. They're now going to have a very good spot as teams have to walk in. Sanex has managed to stabilize into this other isolated pyramid here. Troy High School now sitting far back here, just playing quiet. They are getting some good scans here onto the duo, actually, which I think they realize of Goshen A, deciding whether they want to push that. Brookside, speaking of pushing, decides to move out. They're going to take this middle zone. I don't think anybody has it. Yeah, they're free to take this big building. This is going to be a very good spot in this end game here. Very defensible. Has the height. Some prediction, some action. Goshen A is going to move in. I wouldn't be surprised if Brookside looks to stop them from getting a better position. Let's take a look and see if that proves true. Yep, some early damage coming out from Brookside. The turnaround there, quite tough, actually. They're going to get knocked, but manages to get climbed up, so they are going to get rezzed. Brookside, though, deciding that they do want to maybe push this. Lots of nades coming out, and good nades as well. Good damage being done. Brookside walks up. Brookside realizes, wait a minute, I'm by myself here. My team didn't come with me. That Pathfinder decides to pull back, especially since the Sanex squad, who managed to stabilize in the other pyramid, has has kind of taken aim at them as well. Who do we got here in that far back pyramid? Let's take a look. Who are they shooting? That's Goshen C. Goshen C has given up this spot and now rotated into this other spot that also is not going to be in zone. So Goshen A is now pinched between Goshen C and Brookside. Meanwhile, damage being done by is that Troy High School? Yeah, Troy High School manages to get a pick onto Brookside, so they're one down. Causes them to maybe slow down just a little bit as they were looking to do some good damage onto these Goshen squads. Goshen on Goshen violence, as just unfortunately the Goshen A squad manages to eliminate the Goshen C squad, who did not really have a defensible position to play. Goshen's A squad now in a very, very tough spot as this zone closes in. One go down, almost certainly not going to be able to res. Brookside, this is the power of that height, has really, really good sight lines. The last two here, and they decide to push this. This is pretty risky by this Octane here. They may pick up some KP out of this, but they definitely run the risk of getting into a much tougher position to defend. And that's going to be the elimination. Unfortunately, Goshen A taken out there as Brookside pops off the height. They now have a decent spot. Sanex now, possibly the best spot in zone, especially if they're going to set up these walls here. Double controller legend. They're going to be able to very defensively play this cannon. Troy High School is right on top of New Bremen High School. Oh, they don't know he's there. They don't know he's there. He's literally on top of them, invisible in drone. This is absolutely crazy. Look at this. The crypto is right here. Right here. He is standing on top of the crypto, who is now hoping to not get noticed. They're literally bumping into this guy. That's the power of an invisible crypto. Lots of options there. Let's rotate through our squads. Brookside, a very commanding spot. They've got a lot of options, a lot of sight lines here, but they are going to have to move through a pretty open area as the zone starts to close. New Bremen High School playing this rock does not have as much of a space to play here. They're going to have to move up, but they're going to be running right into Reynoldsburg. Playing in this little valley, they're kind of split here, holding both the building and this little rock area here. Not a lot of options, unfortunately, in this zone, so they're going to have to make work whatever they can. Sanex High School, as we said, best spot easily. They have control of this cannon. They have the walls. They're going to be able to put a lot of damage down, potentially onto other teams as they rotate in. Troy High School does, unfortunately, have to finally move as the invisible crypto. He's going to have to find a spot to park and deploy that drone. He manages to get it. Is he in zone, though? That's a good question. Looks like he's going to be eliminated, unfortunately. Brookside High School walking up immediately runs into this Reynoldsburg team. Reynoldsburg seems to do the most damage here, though. They've got one knocked on Brookside on the low ground, so it's going to be very difficult for them to get that up. The others taking a decent amount of damage, but they return that damage pretty quickly as well. Reynoldsburg now actually very low, now down to a solo of the Ash with just 1 HP, and she's going to be taken out. So early damage done very, very well by Reynoldsburg, but unfortunately they're not able to capitalize on it, and they're taken out by Brookside High School. Now it's going to be Sanex versus Brookside for our final two here. Brookside in a much less defensible position, especially... Oh, she's going for it. She's got the Sheila. She's going to try and let it sing. Oh, and she's caught. They managed to climb up on top of that rock and play the enemy Newcastle wall and just catches the Rampart lacking, and she's eliminated. Sheila was one of their best assets there. That was just kind of a misplay there. The Sanex squad absolutely has the most area to play in this fight. So the fact that they gave that up is just unfortunate. That's going to let Brookside swing on out and then manages to pick off the last of their team for a win in game number 2. Very intense fighting in our second game here. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with scores as well as game number 3. Congrats to Brookside on game number 2. Let's take a look at a quick score update after match number 2. We hit the refresh button and we can see Brookside High School now in first place overall with a whopping 32 kills so far for this week. We've got Reynoldsburg High School close behind in second, New Bremen in third, St. X's A squad in fourth place, Warren G. Harding in fifth place, Goshen's A squad climbing up from the last place in the lobby to sixth place overall so far this week. Goshen's C squad just behind them in seventh place. We've got Troy High School in eighth, Whitmer High School in ninth, Auburn Career Center in 10th place, St. X's B squad, our solo Octane, in 11th place. We've got National Trail High School in 12th, Beaver Creek in 13th, North Baltimore in 14th, and Indian Hill in 15th place. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with game number 3 to finish things off for the week. Here we go, coming back for game number 3 on Storm Point, bringing it home for week 7. Let's see what happens. Here we go, match number 3. Let's see how we do. Here we go. Once again on Storm Point, we can see our teams dropping in all over the map as our drop ships deposit our folks onto this tropical paradise and then take off. Let's rotate through our squads and see where everybody's dropping. This time, Auburn Career Center manages to get checkpoint. We've got Beaver Creek High School in Jurassic in this tiny little no man's land between the fences. We've got Brookside High School this time at Launchpad, not too far away from that zone. Goshen A Squad this time in this little POI just in front of the command center. We've got Goshen C Squad all the way over at Northpad this time. We have Indian Hill High School this time way up north at Lightning Rod this time. And it is actually Lightning Rod, not Zoo Station, as I erroneously mentioned a couple times. We have National Trail High School this time at Echo HQ, our little triangular building here way to the southwest. Southeast, I should say. We've got New Bremen High School here, who is not too far away from them at, I don't even remember the name of this tiny POI, at Coastal Camp. Not to be confused with Devastated Coast or Echo HQ. We may see some pileups early on in this side of the map, though, down here on the southeast. North Baltimore High School is on the wall, getting some easy loot early on here. We've got Reynoldsburg High School, who is way over at Zoo Station. We may see them try to push that Lightning Rod squad early. St. X's A squad here. This time it looks like gets Barometer to themselves as they're busy looting. We've got Troy High School here on Stormcatcher taking a peek over at the command center. We've got Warren G. Harding this time at this tiny little no-name POI just to the side of the, not pylon, but the Cedo station. Whitmer High School right next to them at Cedo. We may see some early action from them. And then that brings us back to Auburn Career Center. Let's take a peek at the map as we like to do. National Trail High School and New Bremen High School. Wouldn't be surprised if we see some fighting early on. In fact, hello? Hello? Lifeline? Oh, did we lose our lifeline? One from National Trail who just popped out. Disconnected. Not sure what's going on there. If she had to leave, if she had a PC crash, or what is happening. Meanwhile, we've got the duo here for National Trail High School who's looting up. New Bremen pushing up on them. Let's watch this. Right on top of each other.
Let's go this way.
The horizon pulls back a little bit. Is she pulling back to loot, or is she pulling back because she saw that New Bremen squad pulled up? I'm not sure she's even aware that New Bremen's there, to be quite honest with you. But they are pushing up. They are pushing this 3v2. While they walk up a little bit before they get to fighting, let's see where other action's going to be happening. Reynoldsburg High School, early knock there. Reynoldsburg High School fighting against our Indian Hill squad as a duo. They try and get out. Unfortunately, they are going to get wiped out, so Reynoldsburg picks up 2 KP there. Meanwhile, New Bremen is collapsing here onto National Trail. They've got one knock. They're going to now push the solo. It's going to be a 3v1, so this is not looking good for our Horizon. And yes, unfortunately, she is also taken out. So a couple of 3v1s, or excuse me, 3v2s early on here by aggressive squads as we see eliminations there. Looks like we got quite a few teams here, actually. Warren G. Harding right on top of Whitmer High School.
Let's go that way.
Two actually, one knocked, one fully eliminated by Whitmer as the Wraith tries to get out here. Warren G. Harding gets the full elimination. They do have some eyes on. Good wingman shot there, and they do manage to take out Whitmer, so that's going to be another quick early elimination here by Warren G. Harding onto Whitmer High School. Auburn Career Center very nearby, though. They are looking at this. Triple white armors, but they are interested in possibly taking this fight. Other action that may be happening. Reynoldsburg High School, pretty close to Troy High School here. Reynoldsburg at the top here of Stormcatcher. Troy High School moving down the hill. New Bremen High School. Let's take a look here. We've got some action happening. It's going to be New Bremen and Brookside High School right on top of one another. This should be a pretty interesting fight. Both of these pretty good, pretty strong squads, and both tend to play pretty aggressively. Pathy doesn't quite get the zip up, misses it just a bit, so he's going to be on the low ground for this fight. New Bremen turtling a little bit here. They say there's people running around. There's a Pathfinder zipping. I'm scared. Let's get inside. Looks like New Bremen High School deciding to possibly go for a portal to try and get out. Immediately gets shot at, and it's going to be the Wraith pushing in. She pops back immediately. They're going to get dropped on, but some good damage done. New Bremen, unfortunately, taking quite a bit in this fight, whereas Brookside, comparatively, quite a bit stronger right now. Again, controlling the height, controlling the pace of this fight. They take the Wraith portal again. They get a knock onto the Mirage for Brookside. It's now going to be 2 down for New Bremen. Just the Wraith left alive. Sorry, not the Wraith. Yeah, no, the Wraith left alive as her teammates take the portal. They push up. They're looking at her from every angle. It's a tough one, and they do manage to get her taken out. So unfortunate, Brookside does manage to eliminate New Bremen there. Pretty close fight overall, both trading. They both kind of had the upper hand, but Brookside just a little bit better control, does manage to bring it home from the height and stay in control of that fight. Not a lot of action happening. We may have missed some things happening in the kill feed while we were watching this fight, but not a lot of teams on top of each other right now. Right through here, and then maybe possibly over here at Pylon is where we're most likely to see some action. In fact, let's see. Reynoldsburg does spot Troy High School, so they are going to be walking up on this. We are going to see probably a 3v3 here in just a moment. Troy High School, I don't think super aware that they are being walked up on. If we take a look, kind of in the distance there, you can see Troy does not seem aware. Meanwhile, we see Reynoldsburg playing up, getting between them and zone, blocking their pathway in as Troy High School loots that big building.
Got my upgrade, ladies.
They get an elimination actually onto the crypto there for Troy High School. That's going to be a tough one, as that's going to definitely damage their ability to get intelligence and their ability to possibly reset if something goes wrong. And they decide, you know what, this is now a 3v2. We want to get out of here. No, not too quickly, though, for Fuse to stop and enhance the weapon a little bit.
Let's go here.
They're going to have to counter-rotate here. Reynoldsburg going to play this aggressively. The Fuse ult comes out, but they are already on him, and they do manage to eliminate that Fuse. Damage being done to the crypto here. He decides he wants to kind of run away. This is kind of a tough situation here. The best play here might have been just to watch that zip line, make sure they can't jump up on you. I'd be shocked if Reynoldsburg doesn't at least try and push this a little bit, and you can see there they are. They're walking up. They're not exactly sure just yet where he's at, but they're going to figure it out pretty shortly. They may have even heard the zip line go there. And there we go. They got eyes on him. Meanwhile, he's actually running into a whole nother squad. It's going to be North Baltimore on triple whites. I don't think they actually know that there is a solo being chased down into their midst. Nope. They are unaware right here that we have this solo there and Troy High School behind. Right now, it's Troy High School as a solo here, surviving. Well, I say that, but now eliminated, being taken out here by Reynoldsburg, surviving for a brief moment based on the unawareness here of the North Baltimore squad. One knock, some good damage being done. Again, this is triple purple versus triple white, and that is a tough act to pull off. 2 knocked, and that's going to be the elimination. North Baltimore is taken out by Reynoldsburg High School, playing aggressive here. Let's take a look. We've got some action happening right in the middle of zone here. It's going to be St. X High School, their A squad versus Goshen A. If we take a look here, we can see St. X High School currently controlling the height. As we saw in some earlier games, St. X with controller abilities does like to have a little bit of say over where people are able to play. They like having the height. They like making it so you can't pull up on them. No Watson fences now, though, so it is possible that they might be able to be pushed. Goshen A, meanwhile, decides to get ults, play on the low ground here. While these two decide whether they're going to fight or not, any other action happening? Auburn rotating in slow here. Warren G. Harding rotating in slow. Brookside High School just on the edge of zone. They're going to get a spot here in the next one in just a moment here. Beaver Creek and Reynoldsburg probably seeing one another. In fact, I think Reynoldsburg literally just spotted the exact same thing potentially.
Target spotted.
Beaver Creek, not sure if Reynoldsburg knows they're there or not. Reynoldsburg pulling back just a little bit, rotating away. Almost certainly, I think they probably do not realize that that team is there. What we've seen from this Reynoldsburg squad is if they did, in fact, realize that Beaver Creek was there, they would have probably wanted to take that fight. Meanwhile, speaking of fights, let's see. Goshen A pushes up on it. They are fighting now versus St. X. It's going to be 1 up. Just the Caustic surviving in some unfortunate trades here. There's going to be a full finish onto the conduit for Goshen A. Brookside High School now actually on the height here. What happened to St. X? Let's take a quick look at the map. You can see St. X A also took a lot of damage, so it's going to be a 1 up for St. X A, 1 up for Goshen A, and then Brookside High School as a trio now controlling this height. This Caustic now is a solo for Goshen. Tough play. Going to have to find a way to play defensively. If anybody can do it, it's going to be a Caustic. Really good ability to control where people are allowed to be. Dropping some barrels. Trying to figure out where they can go. Maybe possibly look to get his teammates back in the game if that's an option. One of the only res options or crafting options rather in zone directly behind him that he may be able to go for depending on who's looking. In fact, if we take a look at the map, we can see nobody's looking right now. So if he's able to get that, he might be able to rip it and res. Meanwhile, Reynoldsburg High School pushes up. I think we might have missed this in the kill feed, actually. Reynoldsburg High School, I think, fully pushed up onto that height and eliminated, they took out Brookside. We missed that entirely now. St. XA, meanwhile, has both of them back up. They rotate back away a little bit from that center of zone, giving it up to Reynoldsburg. Goshen A, they do have a support legend on their comp, so now they do have a beacon, going to be able to res. This is risky, though. They're going to be coming in one of the least defensible positions in zone. Let's see up on the height. Is Reynoldsburg taking a look? They're really the most dangerous squad for this group. They don't seem to notice them right now. No eyes on. Yeah, I don't think they even realize that's happening. Now they hear the sound effects, so they may be noticing the res now, but they're looking more at Warren G. Harding, giving Goshen the opportunity to walk up and possibly pick a spot on the low ground here, which is definitely playable. Let's watch this fight happening here. Beaver Creek, they managed to get their teammates in here as they're going, but now we've got one fully eliminated. Zone is coming, and it is going to hurt if these squads are stuck here. Beaver Creek works on getting healthy. In the meantime, we've got Auburn Career Center 3 up on Purple Armors. I say that, but then they are immediately shot in the back by the squad down here. It looks like that's St. XA. They've managed to pull out, and now they are just kind of gatekeeping here versus the Beaver Creek and the Auburn Career Center squads. Auburn is pretty beefy, though. They are pretty tough. I wouldn't be surprised if they find a way to manage to push up on that St. X squad and refuse to be held out, basically. But, I mean, good damage being done. Beaver Creek still just kind of playing quiet here in the back. The drone is going to be immediately broken by that St. XA squad. Playing smart. They're kind of holding these teams out. Let's take a look. There's a bunch of fighting happening again here. We've got Goshen's A squad in the low ground. They're currently getting pushed by, I believe, Warren G. Harding. With the Caustic, they're going to be a lot more defensible, looking to possibly take this fight and pick up some KP. Multiple squads are looking up, so we got to be careful because we're getting shot in the back just a little bit here. And in fact, another squad walks up immediately to try and third-party this. Let's see, the squad that is currently pushing, just to check because we don't have the exact info, it's going to be Warren G. Harding, Goshen A, Reynoldsburg on the height. Goshen's A squad taking a lot of damage in this fight. It is a 3v2. But they are now low. Now it is just like that. It is now a 2v1. Warren G. Harding going to get a reset of at least their 2 here. Goshen A should manage to get the Sparrow back up at least by playing inside. Reynoldsburg, meanwhile, commanding the height. 6 squads left. Let's take a look at what the zone looks like. You can see, let's watch this gatekeep here. St. X A watching as Auburn walks in. Same thing, Beaver Creek just behind them. Looking to gatekeep these squads, play this little spot here in zone, and maybe pick up some KP as these teams run from the ring. Nice little hop as we rev up the Sheila. A lot of damage taken, and Warren G. Harding is going to be eliminated. We missed some of that, but it looks like that was actually on behalf of Reynoldsburg High School. Still on the height, but manages to get some picks onto Warren G. Harding as they kind of move in here. Meanwhile, St. X's A squad still trying to gatekeep. They are right on top of this Auburn Career Center squad. Auburn decides to kind of pull to the side a little bit here and play the tree, looking for a more defensible spot that's going to be in zone. Leaves St. X High School to have this spot, knowing that it's going to pull away. St. X, though, probably not going to leave them alone. They're going to look to angle them out, potentially. Just to give you a quick breakdown of where our squads are at and how things are playing out in this final zone, we have St. X A on these buildings, who's going to have to move. We have Auburn Career Center, who is looking to get set up in the next zone. They are trying to figure out the most playable position. There isn't a lot, but they are trying to get in and figure out the sort of best option to defend in the late game here. Goshen A as a duo is on the low ground here. It looks like they're getting looked at actually by Reynoldsburg, who has decided to drop off. They decided it's safe to actually get off of their height and play this. 1 HP on the Sparrow there, and he does go down, unfortunately, to the Sparrow ult. It's going to be the Caustic getting out once again. Now is a solo here. Reynoldsburg, they're going to look for him. He is showing a little bit of presence, so I think they do know where he's at, and they're almost certainly going to look to pick up that last player.
Hostile. Danger close. You should head this way.
Goshen looks to set up in the pyramid. Caustic, one of the only legends who could maybe make something like that work, but with the way the zone's pulling, he's not going to be in. He's going to have to make some decisions here. Reynoldsburg, meanwhile, has much more area to play as they've got that little wing of the building that's in that they can potentially make defensible. At the moment, Goshen trying to figure out if there's anything they can do. Really the best play here, just kind of slowing down those squads with the Caustic barrels. Just nowhere to play, unfortunately. Multiple squads looking at it. So it's going to be our final 3 here. Reynoldsburg walking in with a commanding spot in zone. They have the most defensible position. St. X High School, though, on the triple rampart walls here. Kind of in a tough position here as they're playing one side of the tree. Meanwhile, Auburn Career Center playing small just behind the tree. Well, no, they're split, actually. We've got one member all the way over here who is in trouble here as Reynoldsburg swings up, and they do manage to eliminate them. And meanwhile, we have the other Auburn Career Center folk here just to the side in this tiny little pocket. Not a great spot, unfortunately. Kind of relying on security through obscurity here. If they don't know where I'm at, if there's no way they could possibly think someone would play this spot, then surely no one will notice me. Let's watch the Reynoldsburg team here as this zone starts to close. They definitely have the more defensible position. Our Auburn Career Center, pretty good squad at the moment, but they are going to have to move as the zone starts to close here in 5 seconds. Very early Bangalore ult here coming out from Reynoldsburg. I maybe would have saved that. I think if you pull back a little bit, you can ult almost all of zone as this ring closes. Burning that early, especially to not even really tick them fully. They swing up here to get some early damage. That's going to do a lot more than that Bang ult did. And Auburn Career Center is eliminated. Well, maybe I am incorrect here. They managed to get the elimination there, so clearly that was doing something. Let's take a look at our solo here. No longer a solo. St. X A manages to get their team back up. Oh, excuse me. I maybe had that mixed up there. Maybe this was Auburn Career Center here as the solo getting eliminated. Something's going on here. St. X A, it's now going to be 2 up, and St. X A eliminated, making Reynoldsburg the champion once again. crazy endgame here, but as we predicted, Reynoldsburg with the most defensible position does manage to close it out. Other teams holding strong in that end zone, but not a lot of options for where they can go. Reynoldsburg just free to kind of control their side. We'll do one final check-in for scores here in just a moment after they're updated, and then we will see you next week. Just a moment while we check in on those. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at our final set of scores for this week 7 of Apex Legends through Esports Ohio. In first place, no surprises here. They had a great week. We've got Reynoldsburg High School in first. Very closely behind them, we've got Brookside High School. In third place, we've got St. X's A Squad, followed closely behind by New Bremen in fourth and Warren G. Harding in fifth. Auburn Career Center, after a good finish in that previous match, manages to climb up to sixth. Just behind them, we've got Goshen's A Squad in seventh and Goshen's C Squad in eighth. Troy High School in ninth. Beaver Creek in 10th. In 11th place, we've got Whitmer High School. 12th place, North Baltimore. 13th, National Trail. 14th, St. X's B Squad. And then in 15th place, we have Indian Hill closing it out for us. That is going to do it for Apex Legends through Esports Ohio. We'll be back again next week for our 8th week of matches. I will see you there, same time, same place for more action.